From the moment the first icy raindrop hit her trembling hands, Anna knew she was standing at the edge of a life she no longer recognized. Her ribs pressed sharply against her thin skin, her breath shaky as she crouched beside the old metal bowl on the kitchen floor. The scent of dog food, cold, stale, and metallic, rose in front of her, and for a few seconds she stared at it in disbelief, the way someone might stare at the remains of their last shred of dignity. This was dinner. This had been dinner for weeks. And yet, in that silence, broken only by the rain hammering against the window, she whispered to her unborn child a promise she wasn't sure she could keep: "You will survive. Even if I have to crawl to the ends of the earth." Before we go deeper into Anna's emotional, heartbreaking journey, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the strength hidden in suffering hearts, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness. Your support helps keep stories of hope alive. Anna hadn't always lived like this. Once, she was the cherished wife of Daniel Crestwood, a millionaire hotel owner known for his charm, ambition, and ability to command a room with just a smile. They had met in college, two dreamers chasing futures larger than life. Their love grew fast, warm, and full of potential. They spoke of building a family, of raising children who would know laughter more than fear. For years, Daniel lived by those promises. But success, like a silent storm, has a way of warping hearts that lack anchors. As Daniel rose to wealth, the warmth in his eyes began to dim, replaced by the cold shine of greed, pride, and a hunger for admiration from strangers rather than devotion from the woman who loved him most. It started subtly: missed dinners, late meetings, a faint perfume on his suit that didn't belong to Anna. She dismissed it at first. Pregnancy had made her emotional, delicate, and unsure of herself. But soon the truth arrived like an earthquake: Daniel had a mistress. And not just any mistress, a bright, fashionable, high-society model named Liana Bliss, known for her diamond-encrusted lifestyle and her obsession with luxurious dinners that made headlines. Anna found her husband feeding his mistress $1,000 truffle caviar dishes, gold leaf desserts, and imported wines. Every night, while Anna warmed instant noodles and watered them down to stretch the week's supply, Daniel was secretly hosting lavish private dinners for a woman who saw Anna's existence as nothing more than an inconvenience. Things spiraled when Anna confronted Daniel with quiet tears and trembling courage. Instead of remorse, Daniel grew cruel. He didn't want a wife who wore old sweaters, who spent her days resting to protect her difficult pregnancy, who didn't fit his millionaire image anymore. So he cut her allowance. Then he cut her access to their bank account. Then, slowly, cruelly, he cut her meals, claiming she should learn to manage on her own if she wanted to behave like a burden. And one evening, as she opened the pantry searching desperately for food, she found all the groceries gone except for the bag of dog food meant for their family pet who had passed away weeks earlier. Starving, alone, and pregnant, Anna survived on dog food mixed with water. Days blurred into sleepless nights. Her world became a small, dim kitchen in a mansion filled with glittering rooms she no longer belonged to. Her strength came only from the fluttering life inside her, tiny kicks that reminded her of hope. Daniel, meanwhile, was sinking deeper into his affair. He rented private rooftops for Liana's dinners. He bought her silk gowns, diamond chokers, and gourmet plates flown in from French chefs. He spent $10,000 a night feeding a woman who laughed at Anna's frayed clothes. To the outside world, Anna still looked like the wife of a millionaire. But behind the gates of their mansion, she was withering. One night, when storm winds screamed like a warning, Anna fainted on the floor. She remembered her fingers brushing cold tiles, remembered the taste of blood on her lip, remembered whispering her unborn baby's name for the first time: Hope. When she woke in the hospital, the doctors told her she was severely malnourished. Her child was at risk. She needed proper food, vitamins, rest. She needed protection. Daniel didn't come. She called him 6 times. No answer. Instead, she saw pictures online. Daniel and Liana dining under crystal chandeliers, wine bottles priced more than the average car, Liana kissing Daniel's cheek while writing captions about living life with the man who knows how to treat a woman. Anna cried until her chest burned. But what hurt more was realizing she had no one to turn to. Her parents had passed away. Her friends were scattered by time and distance. She was a single soul fighting a war against abandonment. But life has a strange way of sending angels disguised as ordinary people. As Anna sat alone in the hospital ward, a middle-aged nurse named Grace noticed her shaking hands and haunted eyes. Grace brought her soup, sat beside her, and slowly untangled the knot of trauma breaking inside her. Anna confessed everything: her husband's cruelty, the dog food, the starvation, the mistress's lavish dinners. Grace listened with a heart big enough to hold every shattered piece of Anna's pain. Grace reported the situation, and for the first time, the world saw what hid behind the Crestwood mansion gates. An investigation began. The hospital contacted social services. The authorities asked questions. Lawyers arrived. Reporters sniffed around. Every story has a breaking point, and Daniel's came swiftly. When investigators discovered financial abuse, medical neglect, and proof of Anna's starvation, the facade Daniel had built began to crumble like sand under a rising tide. Meanwhile, Grace helped Anna move into a safe shelter for pregnant women. The shelter was small but warm, filled with women who had survived cruelty and were learning to breathe again. For the first time in months, Anna ate proper meals. For the first time in months, she slept without fear. And for the first time in months, she remembered how it felt to smile. As the weeks passed, Anna grew healthier. Her belly rounded beautifully. She read stories to her unborn baby every night. And Grace, kind, steadfast Grace, became like the family she thought she had lost forever. She encouraged Anna to file charges, supported her through legal meetings, and held her hand during every emotional breakdown. But the biggest change came when Daniel's world finally collapsed. News outlets exposed his affair, his cruelty, and the truth about how his pregnant wife survived on dog food while his mistress indulged in $10,000 meals. Public outrage spread like wildfire. Investors pulled out. Businesses distanced themselves. Contracts dissolved. Liana left him the moment the spotlight turned negative, vanishing with her jewelry and luxury bags, leaving Daniel alone to face the consequences. One evening, as Anna sat in the shelter dining hall, her phone buzzed. It was Daniel. His voice trembled, full of fear and regret. He begged her to come home. Begged her to forgive him. Promised he would change. But Anna had already changed. She had rebuilt herself from the ashes he created. She had found strength in hunger, dignity in suffering, and hope in the kindness of strangers. She told Daniel she was choosing peace, for herself and her child. She didn't shout. She didn't cry. Her voice was calm, steady, strong. Daniel was charged. Anna received protection, financial support, and full custody. She used the settlement money to rent a small, cozy apartment. And when the baby finally arrived, a beautiful girl with big, bright eyes, Anna named her the word that had carried her through the darkest nights: hope. Months passed. Anna worked part-time from home, supported by community programs. Grace remained in her life, helping her raise little Hope with endless affection. Anna never became bitter. She never wished suffering upon Daniel. Life had already taught him the cost of cruelty. And one warm afternoon, as Anna held her sleeping daughter by the window, the golden sunlight touching their faces like a blessing, she realized that the life she was living now, simple, quiet, honest, was everything she had ever wanted. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness. Your support means the world and helps bring these emotional real-life stories to more people who need hope. Special request: before you leave, comment, "Hope deserves love," if you believe every suffering soul deserves a second chance at happiness.